about this all season is this. Nobody is built to beat the Eagles. I mean, nobody. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, kick Dingbat here. You know, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles do not get enough credit. They do not get enough credit. Most people, like Washington fans, Cowboy fans, other fans, they all think that we had our honeymoon last year and it's all over. But the truth of the matter is this. History tells us that the Eagles are just starting their Super Bowl window, that they're most likely going to go back. It's not me saying it. It's history saying it, okay? That's why this team, when you look at this roster, I really think this is an unbelievable roster. Unbelievable roster that's actually going to end up being better than a year ago. And this is what Cowboy fans and Commander fans, this is what they just don't get it. They don't understand. But they're going to find out this year. Now, before I get into it, we got to say the Eagles did make a signing. They had a roster spot open because of the trading of Bryce Huffenpuff. And they made a trade. They had a roster spot open, and they went out and they signed themselves a wide receiver. The Eagles say, we have signed wide receiver Ife a day. Ife a day keeps the Cowboys away. Now, this kid's a undrafted rookie free agent. They're going to bring into camp. I'm not gonna tell you he's gonna change everything, and it's this, total. I don't know what to expect from him. He's fast. He runs a 4.35, and we'll see if he can do anything, if he can make this team get on the practice squad. I like the idea of speed. Speed kills in the NFL. We'll see what this kid could do. I really like, I like the wide receivers we have. Like, I actually think, and I said this yesterday, I think Jahan Dotson's going to have a better year than he had a year ago. I think Hurts began to trust him late in the season. We'll see what Ainias Smith is. I thought when the Eagles drafted Ainias Smith, I thought he was gonna make an impact. So, we'll see. But they signed him, and I know everybody has been talking about the OTAs and the guys have looked great. And truthfully, I had a video all ready to go, all edited on safeties. I don't know where the heck it is. I cannot find it on my hard drive. It was downloaded, saved, ready to go. Should have been out about 3 Eastern. And I don't know what happened to it. So I wanted to come on and put something out today. So I'm sorry if I find that. I will drop that one as well. But I don't know where the hell it went. I don't understand what's going on. I always said that when the Eagles, when their golden era comes, it'll probably be at the end of the world. We might be here. Who the hell knows? But I do think we have entered the Eagles' golden era. And I think that's why you see things, and I don't want to rehash everything that happened with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You guys heard plenty on that. The only thing I'll say about the C.J. Gardner-Johnson stuff is I love C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I love Vic Fangio. I think C.J. never wanted to leave Philly. I think he's hurt. And I get it. I understand it. I also understand that the reasons why the Eagles said, hey, we're trading him, we're getting rid of him, isn't the case. It wasn't because of the cap. It wasn't to save cash. It was internal things that we, who, aren't there every day, don't understand or don't know. So we just have to trust that the Eagles made the right move. Now, I like Mukumba, and I have a whole thing on it. Hopefully I can find that damn video. I don't know where that went. But, I think he's going to end up winning the starting job. That's my prediction, unless they go sign Justice Simmons or something like that. But, yeah, I think that the Eagles will be fine at safety. And I also think, putting Cooper DeJean there at times, I think it's very interesting. But, CJ knows that the Eagles are in the golden era of Super Bowls. He knows that this team is so good, they're going to go back-to-back. Now, they lost Milt Williams. They lost Josh Sweat. I'll contend with you. They've replaced them already. They've already got the replacements on it. The young guys just need to play. Expect the Eagles to start playing really scary defense at the end of the year. It might do it all throughout the whole year, but I think a lot of these younger guys are going to come on, especially later in the year. We've had such success, basically, playing the young guys. We should not stop, okay, from this point. Now, when you look at the Eagles, and I say the golden era, and I don't say that loosely. I really truly mean the Eagles are in the era where I think they're going to be in multiple Super Bowls. History kind of shows it, right? History in the NFL, if you look at the last 20, 25 years, it shows that the quarterbacks that win Super Bowls usually win multiple Super Bowls. It's not just like you've got, 32 teams out there with 15 starting quarterbacks have won Super Bowls. It's usually the same guys. Okay, like look at this. Here's the Super Bowl matchups of the last 10 years, right? You got Carolina and Denver, right? And I believe that was Manning's last year. So he wins one going out, but he was a Hall of Fame quarterback. And then you've got New England, right? They're there the next 3 years, right? One of the losses that they have is against the Eagles. The Eagles get one. You look at Kansas City. Kansas City's been to 5 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. Then you look at the Eagles. The Eagles have been to 3 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. Then you look at the Niners and the Rams. Those teams have been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. The Rams won one with Stafford. They lost one with Goff. 49ers, they're chokers now. They've become chokers. And then you sprinkle in, Carolina went, Atlanta went to one, the Bengals. But if you look at the teams that won Super Bowls, pretty much it's the same guys. And if you look at history, you could go back further than just 10 years. You could go back 20, 25 years of this, okay? Or from the salary cap era. It's just the way it is. So history tells us that when you have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, a guy that wins 1 Super Bowl and has gone to another, he goes to multiple Super Bowls, the chances are he's going to go back again. The chances are he's going to end up with multiple Super Bowl rings. And I think that's where we're at right now. The Eagles have 2 Super Bowls. They lost 1 in the last 10 years. Foles got 1. That was great. Every once in a while, you'll get a guy who comes in and wins 1. Doesn't happen a lot, okay? Even if you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl, who they have? They had Brady, who had just been to 3 not previous, but he went to 3 Super Bowls before that in the last 4 years. So history tells us that once the team gets there and once the team gets back, they're going to go multiple times. The Eagles are getting ready to go multiple times. And I think that we live in a world today, and I argue this every week with Mark Holmes and Sills. I argue this. Super Bowl playoffs, that's different. That's a whole different level of football than regular season, okay? When I was growing up, all that seemed to matter were Super Bowls, right? They used to kill Warren Moon, kill Jim Kelly, kill Dan Marino, because these guys did not win Super Bowls, okay? And today's era of football, it's almost like the complete opposite, where all they talk about are regular season stats. Oh, this guy's got this many passing yards. This guy's got this many touchdowns. And to me, they don't talk about winning Super Bowls enough, okay? And it's like you've got to win at least 2 before people can't talk about you anymore, okay? And that's just the way it is. It's been like that for a long time. You had Brady, all the Super Bowls he won early in his career, okay? The Eagles were going to 3, 4 NFC championships in a row. Pittsburgh won 2. The Giants won 2 under Eli Manning. It happens. The chances are, and history shows, that right now, over the next 4 or 5 years, you're going to see the Chiefs probably get there at least one more time. Then the Eagles are going to get there. And then you'll see another team probably rise up with a quarterback that will get there multiple times. But there's a difference between winning in the playoffs, winning in a Super Bowl, and winning in the regular season. Okay, I argue this point with Mark Holmes all the time. He says, "Oh, well, Jalen Hurts had a great Super Bowl game, but they stacked the box, and it was easier for him to throw." Yeah, but you still have to make the throw. You still have to make the passes. And when it's the playoffs and the pressure's on you and the spotlight's on you and everything matters that more and everything's a little tighter, a lot of guys overthrow the pass. They short the pass. They throw the interception. They hold on to the ball too long. They panic. For whatever reason, they choke. Jalen Hurts is not a choker. Jalen Hurts wins those games. I contend that the Eagles win Super Bowl, or I'll contend this. The Eagles play playoff football all year long. And what happens is, right now, when you look at the Eagles and the way they're constructed, one, you have a quarterback. He may not throw 40 touchdowns, okay? But he's going to win games. And he's going to win games in big moments, okay? And he's going to make the passes. People want to say, well, he doesn't have to throw 30 times to win. Well, you know what? Most quarterbacks don't throw 30 times in the playoffs or the Super Bowl. Those teams that do usually are losing, okay? And the Eagles, and the way that they're constructed, and this is what's the genius of them. Howie Roseman recognized that the league did not value running the ball anymore, and teams were going away from it. They weren't paying running backs. They also weren't building defenses to stop the running game. The Eagles have one of the best offensive lines I've seen since the '90 Cowboys. Okay, they went out, they got themselves a stud running back, and they went out there. And teams right now are not built to beat them. Yes, the Eagles, their bread and butter is running the ball. Yes. But Jalen Hurts, he may not throw 30 times a game. He may throw 20 times a game. But he's got to be more accurate in those 20 throws than a guy that's throwing 30, 35 times a game. It's more important for him to be accurate. And he lives up to it. So you have a quarterback that could win. You have a team that is built in a different way than the rest of the league. Okay, and the league, they have geared, like I said, to the passing game. They've gone away from having running backs, paying running backs, and also building defenses to stop the run. And now, as the league adjusts, the Eagles are going to take advantage of it. This is why, when you look at the Eagles' schedule and you say, well, the Eagles, yeah, they've got a lot of tough teams, but then look at those teams versus the run. Not very well. It's not very good. So the Eagles not only are built to win. They're built like nobody else. And the league has not adjusted yet to beat the Eagles, to stop that kind of offense. And then the sugar on the whole thing is you have a quarterback who is underrated because people don't value the way he wins. They think that you need to have 5 touchdowns a game and 500 yards throwing, when really what you need to do is maybe have 20 opportunities to throw the ball. But you've got to hit on your targets. You've got to do it, and you've got to make the throws, and there's no room for missing. And that's what Jalen Hurts does. As everything goes up and the pressure becomes more and more, Jalen Hurts gets better and better. This is why the Eagles will repeat. This is why the Eagles are in the golden era of football. And everybody is talking about all these other things. And the truth of the matter is nobody's built to beat the Eagles. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry about my other video. Hopefully I can find it. I wanted to do this video just to put something out today that was on my mind very quickly. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how I vision. We're all just living in it.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.
That's all, folks.